Now look, unless you're a current Formula One driver or you've got like a few stage wins to your name in the World Rally Championship, chances are your driving could do with some work.
Yeah, guilty.
Really?
Yeah.
You're brilliant.
I know.
Wow, okay.
But honestly, people do make some terrible mistakes on the road, and here are just a few of them.
Okay, first up is this thing. This is called the steering wheel, and it's really important to use when you're driving. Even more important is where your hands go. Now, there are some tips for this. See, like around here, there are some buttons, and even in this car, there are some paddles for changing gears. Well, guess what? That's where your hands are supposed to go. Notice how there are no buttons or anything up here? That's not where your hand's supposed to go. We see so many people driving around like this. That's just stupid. That's bad driving. In fact, Lexus and Tesla are offering yoke-style steering wheels, so this section doesn't even exist. You're not going to put your hand there, are you? That's where your hands go. 9 and 3. Next up is the seating position. This is too far back. You look like an idiot sitting this low, and you can't actually get to the steering wheel. Where you should be sitting is so your hands can neatly drape over the steering wheel like that. That is the right position, actually even a little bit higher than that. Also, adjust your actual steering wheel to come out to you if your car does have a telescopic adjustment. But sitting back too far or sitting way too low, you just look like a wanker.
See this? This is a mirror. There's one here, there's one in the middle, and there's one on the other side. And they're excellent for looking back. Not just back at life regrets, but behind you whilst you're driving. I get in cars all day, every day, and it is amazing just how many cars the mirrors are set in a position where I know the owner of that car cannot see a goddamn thing. Adjust your mirrors, use them often.
You know what this is? It's a headlight, and just like me, it has two different modes, high beam and low beam. Unfortunately, some owners seem to forget that and they just leave the high beam on even when there's a car coming towards them. The mistake people make is not turning them down. Just flick on onto low beam so you're not blinding anyone coming towards you.
Another common mistake people make is just not looking far enough ahead. Don't just look at the car in front of you. Look 3, 4, 5 cars down the road, and it's almost like looking into the future. You can see an accident long before it happens if you just look ahead.
Okay, see this area here that I'm standing in? Well, imagine this spot on the other side over there as well. These are called the blind spots. What they mean is that the person driving this car cannot see you because it's a blind spot. Don't sit in these positions. Either drive your car forward a little bit or go back a little bit so you're not in the blind spot, because if they can't see you, it's dangerous. Now guys, just like you, we've got food and rent and bills to pay for, and the only way we can do that and continue to make this content for you is with the help of our partners. Not just our romantic partners, but our sponsorship partners. But the only sponsorship partners that we will ever align with, they have to bring genuine value to you guys. So if you get your next car financed through Driver via the link down there, not only is the entire process super easy to do online, you can get pre-approval in just minutes, you get to choose which finance package works best for you, there are no hidden fees, and you'll get $150 worth of free fuel. Awesome. And if you click on the WIPERTECH link down there, not only are you going to get some of the world's very best wipers that are easy to order, they're delivered to your door, and they are easy to install, you're going to get 15% off and free express shipping. WIPERTECH, you legends.
When you're driving, just smooth it out. Smooth out the input, smooth out the turning, just be less erratic. People can't really predict what you're doing when you're being erratic, and if you smooth out your braking and your steering, it might just be the difference between avoiding an accident in the wet or actually causing one.
Quite potentially the biggest mistake people make when they're driving, and it's a stupid one, is using this thing while driving. Let me ask you a question. Would you run through a crowd of people as fast as you possibly can, constantly looking down at your phone? No, that wouldn't end well for anyone. So doing that when driving 1.5 tons of metal at freeway or even around town speeds is just stupid, and it's illegal. Don't do it.
The big mistake lazy drivers make is they drive along with their left foot resting on the brake. Not only does it wear out your brakes prematurely, but your brake lights are always on and no one has a clue what you're doing.
Another mistake people make when they're driving is just having the wrong attitude. If you've got like some entitled, arrogant attitude, like you think you're actually a really good driver, guess what? It means you're not a good driver. Also, if you're distracted, like playing with your stereo or just being off with the fairies, terrible, terrible mistake. So the solution, just stop being so arrogant. Pull your head out of your ass and just be courteous to those around you. And don't be distracted. Like you're controlling 1 ton or 2 tons of metal going at speed. You need to be alert.
People, drive to the conditions. If you're hooning around a neighborhood and your exhaust is popping and crackling, you just look like a wanker, and it's dangerous. You never know when someone's going to back out of a driveway. And another thing, drive to the conditions. If it's wet, slow the hell down. Most people don't even realise how hard it is to stop a car in an emergency in the dry, let alone in the wet. So if it's wet, just back off a bit and slow it down.
Okay, where the hell are your manners? What happened to like just common courtesy on the road? Let people in. If someone wants to merge in front of you, here's a crazy idea. Let them. There's no award ceremony at the end of the street going, congratulations, sir, you've made it here first, here's your trophy. That doesn't exist. Just lift that right foot off the accelerator just a little bit, wave them on in, it works like a zip, everyone moves together. Just be courteous, don't be an asshole.
Unless you've got the reflexes of a ninja, which you don't tailgate. Just back off a few car lengths. Not only is it bloody dangerous, the car in front of you typically is probably distracted and more likely to be in an accident too. Just back up, away from the car, and don't be a dickhead.
Now guys, we're gonna make this whole biggest mistakes when thing a bit of a series.
That's right, we want your input. So tell us in the comments what pisses you off, what drives you mad, so we can tell the people.
See you next time.